Hello and welcome to Crypto News. Today is November 13th, 2025, and here are the top cryptocurrency news stories. We'll start our episode by heading to America, where the bill to launch America is now in the office of the President of the United States. So we're literally one signature away from the official launch of America, something we already knew from previous episodes of Crypto News. Moving on to our ETFs, spot Bitcoin ETFs. On November 11th, the day closed at $524 million, while on November 12th, with full data, we're at negative $278 million, as those who made the move sold. Moving on to Ethereum ETFs, we've been seeing negative numbers all the time. On November 11th, we closed with $107 million in negative inflows, and on November 12th, we're back at negative $183 million. But the best news for ETFs comes from the previous news, in which we now know that an XRP ETF, the Canary Capital one we saw in previous episodes, has been approved and will officially start trading today, November 13th, so we can't wait to see what it does. Moving on, we'll also mention JPMorgan, which, as I've said in previous episodes, is getting more and more into cryptocurrencies. It now has its own digital token, the JPM Coin. So JPMorgan, which is the largest bank in the world by market capitalization, has started developing a digital token that represents the deposits held at the bank, which, as we said, is called the JPM Coin. This digital token is currently being created for the bank's institutional clients and will allow users to send and receive money on the blockchain 24/7, a feature that traditional banks don't have, as you know. The blockchain that will be used is Base. Continuing, we will also mention Mr. Justin Sun. Simply put, a judge in the Dubai International Financial Center has ordered the continuation of an order and the international freezing of assets worth $456 million, which are related to the rescue of the algorithmic stablecoin TrueUSD, founded by Justin Sun, the founder of Tron. Essentially, this is an embezzlement of the algorithmic stablecoin related to the return of Justin Sun, the founder of Tron. This happened during a period when Justin Sun was depositing and withdrawing money from TrueUSD to save it, and I can't say that this is particularly legal because it could also be considered an act of embezzlement. Let's note that, as of this writing, TrueUSD is already at $0.9961, not $1, so be careful here. Moving on to our news, we'll also mention Zcash, which has a company buying it, and we're talking about Therapeutics, which announced that it bought $50 million worth of Zcash. As a result, its stock price jumped 170%. The biotech company also announced that it has changed its name to Cypherpunk Technologies and is now a Zcash investor. Let's note that this $50 million came from a private equity investment of $58.88 million led by Winklevoss Capital. They bought 203,775 Zcash. Moving on, we'll move on to Solana, whose active addresses have dropped to a 12-month low. Let's look at the numbers. This is the full Solana active address chart, and we can see that it had reached an all-time high of 9.02 million active addresses per day, which was when there was a big craze for meme coins, something we all saw in crypto news. Now, this number is steadily decreasing as we hear less and less about meme coins. As you have probably noticed, I don't report many of these news anymore because meme coins are losing their popularity, volume, users, etc. So like Solana's crypto news, the activity has simply faded into obscurity as there is nothing to attract the public's attention, at least during this period. Moving on to SUI, let me tell you that SUI has launched its own stablecoin, USD-SUI, and the good news is that in addition to being the official stablecoin of SUI, it is also available on various wallets such as Fandom, MetaMask, and Hyperliquid. Since these wallets are very popular, this could attract a lot of people to the SUI ecosystem, as you can imagine, and significantly increase the usage of its stablecoin if people adopt it. And for the latest news of the day, let's go to IBM, which claims to have made some very significant strides in quantum computing with a new chip it has developed. The company has promised two things. First, that it aims to achieve quantum advantage by 2026, and second, to develop fault-tolerant systems by 2029. Now, what do these things mean? A system that is safe by 2029 could mean a number of things that haven't been explained. It most likely means that it won't make computational errors, but it could also mean that it won't overheat. It's a very broad concept. So what is quantum advantage? Quantum advantage is that this supercomputer can solve a problem faster than any other regular supercomputer that we have so far. The question here is, what is the problem? Because they can choose a problem that benefits quantum computers. And who is this supercomputer? Because there are supercomputers and supercomputers. Some are weaker and some are stronger. So let's see what they're going to compare their quantum computer to. But these are important steps for quantum computers, which, as you know from the cryptocurrency news, are coming, let's say, this is the chip that they've made. So after that, we go to our favorite cryptocurrency market with the price going up to $103,000. That wraps up the top news for crypto today, November 13th, 2025. I'd like to remind you that the content you just watched is created for educational purposes only and should not be considered as investment advice, but rather as investment opinion. Please subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and feel free to comment. Take care, everyone, and have a good day.